She's all the way from Greenville, South Carolina. If there's anybody here that I had met that traveled, please let me meet you personally, because I really want to thank you, such as this lady right here. She has a lot of things that she does, so if anybody out here want to get her information and stay in contact with her, because she's involved in the community. That's why we call her Miss Community. Y'all put your hands together for her.
Thank you, thank you. First, I wanna thank Janae and T-Man for putting this together. I think this is a very, very needed thing, you know, for someone here in Spartanburg, also Greenville, really throughout the upstate. We need to do more things like this, because the impact that we have, just us few people, is going to mean a lot. You know, this means a lot, and obviously it must be important because JJ's here.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
He came up here and he spoke, he told his testimony, he kept it real with us.
That's right.
He let us know that he's just like us. I talked to JJ a lot, and I know that he definitely was keeping it real, because sometimes he'll call me and just want to vent, you know, and I'm a real good listener. You know, I will tell him, no, I'll call you back, JJ. You know, I'll make up something in a minute, especially like, you can only take so much vent, you know. I started getting mad, it's time to hang up, so, you know, I'm like, but, you know, JJ and I were really good friends. I'm friends with a lot of the people at Jabs, and I really appreciate them for always supporting me on the things I do. You know, they're a very good threshold to the upstate, and we really appreciate them. I came because JJ always calls me Miss Community. I feel like if you're a community leader or a community activist, you have to actually be active and lead in the community. You have to go to where the people are. You have to go to where the need is. There's a need here in Spartanburg, a definite need for us to come together and unite and try to figure out what's going on with our young people. Because, see, I know where my sons are. Here go two of them right here. I got two of my kids right here. This is my daughter's baby right here. My daughter's at home because I called her to make sure she wasn't just trying to, you know, make me keep the baby while she run the streets. My oldest son, he's at the house asleep right now. He's 22. So, you know, I still keep tabs on my kids. I tell people all the time, I got a 16 and an 18-year-old at home. Ain't no reason in the world they should be out in the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nothing in the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning but trouble, unless you work a third shift job. So I always tell that to my kids, you know, you don't have a reason to be out after midnight, really. I really don't want to be out that late. But they're boys, so we try not to, you know, we try to give them a little bit, because we know if we don't, they're going to find a way to do it anyway. I come from Detroit. I've been here over 20 years, and in Detroit, you know, I saw a lot of things like this growing up. I was like 9 years old, and we found a little kid on the railroad tracks dead. I was 9. We had people in our community all the time that would minister to us, and that would talk to us about being a strong leader, about being a strong person in the community. I mean, I'm a little kid, you know, we had people that would be on the corner, you know, hey, let me holler at you about something right quick. This ain't where you want to be. You know, I'm doing this, but I'm doing wrong. They would always try to put some light into the situation. And that's what you got to do. You got to bring light into the darkness. I lost my brother. He was found murdered in an abandoned building. He was killed by some of his friends. And that was also in Detroit. And the one thing I can say about Detroit is it's not really as rough as it seems, but it can be rough. But it also has its good moments. Like, I was also able to meet, at one time in my life, Rosa Parks. You know, Mayor Coleman Young, he was in my family, so I got to go to his office and sit in his office and watch him work before. When you come in contact with people who are leaders, who are doing things in the community just because they see the need, and not because the media is there, or not because this person there or that person's there, but because there's a need in the community for them to come out and show face, that teaches you something. See, I didn't really remember much about Rosa Parks except that she smelled good, because I was like 12 years old, and I was like, man, that lady, she smelled good. You know, she was really, her house was nice. You know, she had a really nice house, and she was really nice to us. She gave us candy, you know, and we sat around, and she told us about the bus moving and all that stuff. And, you know, it really, at the time, I didn't know to be proud. But now when I think about that, and I wondered then why my daddy was so, he just really wanted me to meet her. Well, now I know. Because see, every little bit, every little person that you meet that can put something positive into your life, that can put something into that seed, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? You need to take everything in. See, our kids, they're our seeds. And I totally believe in, okay, we planted it, So now we got to water it. We got to pick the weeds out. We got to nurture that seed. We got to correct that seed when it's doing wrong. But we also got to give that seed a pat on the back and a hug when it's doing right. I strongly believe in that. I strongly believe in telling my kids that I love them, but you know I'll beat you. You know what I'm saying? We was raised like that. We didn't run wild in the streets. And if you did, trust me, just like she said earlier, your mother, your parents knew about it by the time you got home. And I was raised, my mom was single. She was a single mother raising us, but she still taught us morals, values, self-respect, discipline. Not only that, I got to see my dad like every summer. And he lived with my grandmother and all them, so I was raised around a bunch of old folks who made me sit on the porch, it seemed like 24/7. But that's because they knew something I didn't know. See, ain't nothing in the streets but trouble. That's right. But at the time when I was growing up, you know, you're 15 years old, you want to be in the streets. That's right. That's why kids have parents. That's why we have God. Because even at times when I lose direction, and when I can't figure out where I'm going and what I want to say, even when I can't find the words to say, I listen. God is always speaking to us, and He's always telling us the right thing to do and the right way to move. Even at times when you feel like, man, you know, everything is going right, you know everything is going wrong, you know one thing is going right, you woke up. As long as your heart is beating, you can change. I totally believe that as long as you still have breath in your body, you can make a difference. It doesn't matter male or female, black or white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. I started doing this with my organization almost 2.5 years ago. I started seeing the need, and just like this right here, every time I have an event, I'm like, I want it to be packed out like at the club on $2 Tuesday. You know, every time I have an event like this, I want people to come like we giving away free drinks and the strippers on the pole and everybody making it rain. This right here is our community. I'm from Greenville. But still, I still feel like, because I work with people from Spartanburg, and we talked about this maybe 3 nights in a row, and I said, what would Martin Luther King do right now? Somebody has to be that movement. Somebody has to start that movement, because if not, we're going to continue to be at a standstill. Because right now we're at a total standstill. We're basically imprisoning ourselves. We don't even need the man to put shackles on us. We putting the shackles on our own selves. I totally believe that if we come together as a community and stand firm with what we're saying and actually do these events every month or every couple of weeks or whenever necessary, and bring some churches in here, bring some pastors in here, bring some community leaders. Where's Jesse Jackson? You know what I'm saying? He's from Greenville. Bring some of those people in here. Let's start a movement. Because, you know, we can, this group of people right here, it's enough of us right now to go march downtown, and we really will get some really good coverage on it. That's right. But why only do it with 100 people? That's right. We need to do it with thousands. So like I said, I really commend you all for doing this right here. Because Spartanburg, I'm not from Spartanburg, so all I hear is like negative stuff all the time. I hear bad things, shootings and shootouts, and you know, people being murdered and molested, and kids being found, and just everything. You know, the news is going to run all the bad stuff, but where's the news now when you all are doing something like this? You know what I'm saying? Where are they now when the community actually came together, the black community? Ain't nobody fighting, ain't nobody drinking. I don't see any guns laying out on the table. Ain't nobody running to their trunks. The word of God has been mentioned I don't know how many times today. Things like this need constant coverage, because if not, all people are going to see is the negative. All people are going to see is Spartanburg, man. They killed each other, man. Them people crazy, man. I ain't going to Spartanburg, man. Them mugs crazy, man. Them mugs shoot up the club, man. They need to say, Spartanburg had a really good event. It was hosted by T-Man and Janae. 107.3 Jam showed up. Tracy and them came. You know, you got to mention me. You know, Tracy and them came all the way from Greenville. Everybody laughed and talked. You know what I'm saying? I really, like I said, I really appreciate it. JJ, I'm glad that you kept it going online and everything. And you got to see, because JJ, he made some moves with the station for this. And I know because, you know, I'm kind of like family, we kind of like family, so I know that he really made some really good moves for this, and he really, really stuck in there. And that's hard to do at a station where, you know, everything is important. And this right here is important too, but then something could have came up. That's right. And so even if something came up, he brought the big van. He didn't bring that little, he didn't bring the little bitty van.
That's
so,
a Mercedes truck.
You know, like I said, we really appreciate this. And, yeah, really. And I really appreciate being invited and given the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Now y'all keep it going.
I want to say hello to everybody. I want to piggyback on some of the things that were said out here. I hear a lot of you talk about the pastors, but the first thing is we've always been taught, don't put your faith in no man. It starts at home.
That's right.
We have a lot of people out here who role model as Young Jeezy, Gucci Mane. I have a son at home. I hope one day he said, my dad is my role model.
That's right.
You know, how do you feel when your child stand out and say, Young Jeezy is my role model, and you standing right beside him?
That's right.
You know, I'm part of our youth committee at my church, and we do things as Foster Chapel Baptist Church.
Foster Chapel.
And a lot of times, you know, I go to church not to look at the pastor. I go to church to hear the word. Because when God's sending the word, he's sending through that man, not for you to look at that man. So if you're going to church looking at your pastor and what he's accomplishing, you need to take a look at yourself and say, what can I put in to accomplish the things that God needs me to accomplish? And not only that, you know, it's so many times that we go out and we see people on Facebook, but yet and still they talking about the negative things in the community instead of the positive, bringing people together. Like today, you know, I'm not on Facebook, but my wife is on Facebook. And this event right here, she said, has been going on all week long, I believe. And the turnout that we got, you know, I'm sorry to say that, you know, we could have had a lot more people to turn out than this. I mean, I guess if we had to say it was free alcohol or whatever, you know, more people would have showed up. But yet and still, as young black men and older black men, we need to teach our younger black men that it's okay to talk to your brother.
Right.
Don't get mad and go try to pop the trunk, pull out the guns. It's not the guns that's bad, it's the people that use the guns.
That's right.
Because my daddy always taught me, if you can go to a man and talk to him about the issues that y'all have, you being a man. But if you run around and you talk behind that man's back, you're being a coward.
Right.
But yet still we need to show our black men it's okay to go to that man and talk to him. If he refused to hear what you got to say, that's on him.
Right.
You cleared your conscience, you did what you had to do.
That's right.
But the main thing of it is a lot of us feel like it's not okay to go talk to that man. A lot of our young black children feel like it's bad to make A's in school. I try to teach my son, that's your education. You get your education, because that's one thing nobody can take from you. They can take your car, they can take your house, they can take your clothes. But as long as you have education, you can be a better person. And you use your education to educate somebody else. So that's all I want to say. Just let it start at home. We teach our kids. If we can't teach our kids, what can we do? That's one of the problems that we have. We don't want anybody to tell our kids when they're in the wrong. And we're too busy on Facebook, or we too busy out in the club ourselves to understand what our kids are going through and to sit down with them and say, okay, I've been through that. Let me show you the right way to go. But until we all can get together as a family, because that's what we are, we all always are going to be a broken family. That's all I need to say.
Y'all give it up. Hey, y'all.
Keep it going.
Clap. Better clap. I'm gonna tell y'all a little something about myself. I didn't even know I was coming out here today. I was sitting around chilling with my homeboys, and somebody told me to go to an event with them. But I'm the type of person where, when he told me where I was going, and now that I see in my own eyes, and I see all these black folks out here, and everybody believes in what I believe in, it made me feel real good. Because I didn't know black people cared like that.
See what I'm talking about?
Because I'm just one out of a million. Out of a million. But like I said, I'm not no saint, I'm not no Christian, but I believe in the Lord. I believe in the Lord. But just sitting here looking at y'all people, I swear it made me so proud. Because y'all sitting there, you could be anywhere. Like you say, at the club, anywhere. But y'all sitting here with us. I'm gonna say us because we all together. You know. But what I want to say to y'all is, you know, basically, since we here, this is something we need to do more and more often. More and more often. Because it's struggles that we face as black people. It's struggles that we face. Like you talking about the preacher. What preacher you know riding on 28? I don't know no preacher. I know one preacher on 28. I know about two of them. But it's not cool with me. I ain't even riding on 28. So y'all good people out here. Because if you took time out your day to come out here, then y'all all good.